ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्ति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने भोरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। एवरीबॉडी वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 So now we have today one day for completing one chapter. Very important chapter, that is prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Chapter 8. So this is very important chapter, and the prayers of Queen Kunti specifically they are for renunciates specifically, because the mood of Queen Kunti is of completely depending on Krishna, leaving aside all other shelters, even her own children, even if they are pure devotees. So that mood of Queen Kunti, Vipada Santuta Shashwat, then cut off all my ties, let my mind be completely fixed in you. So these are the prayers generally matching to the renounced order. So prayers of Queen Kunti are very important to guide our consciousness in such a way that we take shelter of Krishna completely, and we have faith in Krishna also completely. Because we see that in case of Kunti, although she is the aunt of Krishna, but still we see that so many difficulties happens in the life of Kunti. Although she was shelterless, there was absence of husband, and then there was no support from the king also. So in that case, because she was very absorbed in Krishna, we can see that when difficulties were there, whatever is there inside only comes out when one is squeezed in the difficulties. So in case of Kunti also, when she was pushed by different instances where she can be depressed, she can be faithless, she can be angry, she can be revengeful, but then instead of all these things, she is taking shelter of Krishna. So that is a very amazing thing because she is always taking shelter of Krishna inside. So that's how it comes out in the prayers. Because we see that last time also we are seeing that Gandhari, when she was tortured in a great way because her 100 sons were killed, she became very angry. She was just cursed Krishna only. So similarly, so many relatives of Kunti also were killed. Karna was killed. So many other five sons were killed of Pandavas. And then so many of her relatives, because her relatives were from both sides. Some relatives were this side, some relatives that side. So we see that after having massacre also, she maintained her chastity to Krishna. So we learn this chastity, pinpointed devotion to Krishna, welcoming austerities for Krishna. So all these qualities very important when we are seeing these prayers of Queen Kunti. Text 1. Suta uvacha
Utavacha
अथ ते सम्परेतानां
Ate Samsaretana
स्वानामुदकमिच्छताम्
Mana Udakamichata
दातुं सकृष्ण गङ्गायां
Datum Sakrishna Gaya
पुरस्कृत्य ययुस्त्रियः.
Udakamichata
Somebody translation.
Thereafter, the Sutta Goswami said, thereafter the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front.
Yeah. So it says Samparetana Swana, that both sides their own people were there and now they were dead and they have to give Udakam vagara, oblations. So first four texts are there, first four slokas. Krishna is pacifying Pandavas, so that things are given. Text 2. ते निनीयोदकं सर्वे विलप्य च भृशं पुनः आप्लुता हरिपादाब्ज रजः पुतसरिज्जले.
Having greatly lamented over them and offered Ganges water, they again bathed in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord.
Yeah. So we see that all the performances, all the activities done in our Vedic culture, they are always like this, that the thought of others' welfare is put in front. Like we see in case of today, when devotees, not devotees, outside people, when they celebrate birthdays or something like that. So when the birthdays, others, they give him gifts. But Vedic birthdays are not like that. Like Mother Yashoda tells Krishna that Krishna, today is your birthday, you stay back because we have to give charity, give cows and charity like that. So we see that all the performances, all the activities in Vedic culture are put in such a way that we come out of our selfish mentality and do something good for others. Text 3. Tatrasinam kurupatim dhritarashtraṁ sahanujam gandharim putra shokartam prutham krishnam cha madhavah.
There sat the king of Kurus, Maharaj Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers, and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there.
So here we see that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is Maya Dhikshena Prakriti. Suyate Sacharacharam. That he controls, manipulates everything, including all the nature. So such powerful personality sitting there and others are crying. That itself is a great, like a funny thing. That person who is under full control, he is there and what he is doing? He is pacifying. Chinta mat karo, hota hai. Like that. And then everybody knows that he is the Supreme Lord. Everything is under his control. And then he is doing nothing other than just consoling. That wait. Like that. So instead of saving lives, he is just giving pacifying words. Okay. So we can see that sometimes our expectations and the Lord's reaction or Lord's reciprocation may be completely in different terms. Like so, they all expected that Krishna will save. Kunti expected he will save. Gandhari expected, and then so we see that Prabhupada writes in one of the where he writes that when Second World War was there, all the wives they were going to the church from Germany and then from France and that side also they were going and they were praying that my dear father, please save our husband, the brothers, whatever. But then we see that afterwards there was a huge atheistic wave because everybody was killed. So here also something was like that. This was far greater in quantity than Second World War. 64 crore, never before in the history. And then the Supreme Lord is personally present there and he is just giving pacifying words. Yeah, text 4.
Here some interesting words are used. There's, for Yudhishthira Maharaj, although Dhritarashtra is there, but for Yudhishthira Maharaj the word is used Kurupati.
Yeah, because he is king now. Like that.
And Draupadi is used as Krishna.
Yeah. Draupadi is known as Krishna because he loves Krishna very much. So she is given that special name. Yeah. Text 4. Santvayamasa munibhir hatabandhushu charpitan bhuteshu kalasya gatim darshayan apratikriyan.
Citing the stringent laws of Almighty and their reactions upon their beginnings, Lord Shri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected.
Yeah. So, what is Lord telling them is darshan na pratikriyam, that no remedial measure is there. So, he was telling them that this is how the Almighty time works, and then everybody is bound by that. So, Prabhupada writes in the purport middle, unfortunately, under the influence of illusory material energy, we accept this spot of life of only a few years as our permanent existence and thus become illusioned by possessing so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, etc., which are false representations created by Maya, illusion. So we see that generally the lamentation, revenge, this kind of lower emotions come when we take that particular thing as a spot life, as all in all. So here we see that this is a very nice section where, because many times we also are put in such situation. Somebody catches us and tells, प्रभु ये कोई तो पास में बड़ा व्यक्ति है, उसका mother off, so now please come and speak something. कुछ सभा है वगैरह. And then we are put in such places where we are supposed to go there and speak something. So here, Krishna giving us some clues. What can we speak? pacifying words. So pacifying words should not be harsh, telling that you had a karma, just have it, tolerate. Neither we can say that अच्छा हो जाएगा. Because generally people, they want some comfort in this kind of situation. So Lord is giving them comfort that some no pratikriya, that some things have no remedial measures. What happens in our life? Yeah. But then Prabhupada writes here that how we should not become morose, hopeless when we are going through that spot where the challenges are there. Because life is far bigger than what we think. I can never forget the example Gurujan Prabhu gives in that small Japa book. He says that generally our mind tends to focus on something which are now like very small. And then he gives example that when we were in schools, we get some medal. We came first in running 100 kilometer, 100 meter, or we come as a kind of eloquence. We gave some nice speech and then you are given some prize. So when we got first and second prize like that, then that is like as if we have conquered the whole world at that time. For next 1 month we keep telling others that I have won this prize. And our mother, father also, whoever comes, they tell, हाँ लड़का है ना ये, first आया, running competition. Then that becomes the great thing. But then he says that now after 30-35 years, what is the use of that medal? Running competition in the fifth standard. Now it has no consequences whatsoever. So similarly, when we are going through so many difficulties, ups and downs, intelligent person goes little above and thinks that this is just one spotlight. That's how Prabhupada writes here. Unfortunately, under the influence of illusionary material energy, we accept this spot life of few years as our permanent existence and thus becomes illusioned. So both people become illusioned when they see that this life is all in all. So if I have to enjoy, this is the only life. So they also become illusioned. And then when the difficulties are coming in our life and they feel that my life is miserable. Why? Because yesterday I was very miserable. So that person also becomes illusioned. Because in this world, everything comes and goes. Which shloka in Bhagavad Gita? Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama apayino anityas tam titikshasva bharata. That so the titiksha comes only by understanding that keep coming and going. They are not permanent. Text 5. साधयित्वाद अजात शत्रो स्वं राज्यं कितवैहृतं घातयित्वा सतो राज्ञः कचस्पर्शक्षतायुषः.
The clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi.
Yeah. So here it says that the war of deadly, ghastly war of Kurukshetra was not fought on Kurukshetra. That war was done already, the result, when Draupadi was mishandled. He says that Kachas Sparsha Kshata Ayushaha. The day when they touched the hairs of Draupadi, that time their life was over. Other things were just details that they came together and then they fought. But then the expiry date has already finished on the day when they mishandled Draupadi. Prabhupada writes very nicely in the purport that the Varnashrama system, these 5 things are protected. First is Brahmanas, because when the Brahmanas are protected nicely, they give direction, guidance, and the Brahmanas are considered like the head of the society. So that's why, although Brahmanas are weak physically, they can be anyway harmed, but then they should be given protection. And if they are mishandled, then the whole society becomes headless, guidanceless. So that's how Prabhupada writes, the protection of the Brahmanas maintains the institution of Varnashrama, the most scientific culture for attainment of spiritual life. And then he says the protection of cows maintains the most miraculous of food, that is milk, for maintaining the finer tissues of the brain, for understanding higher aims of life. Third thing he says, the protection of woman maintains the chastity of society. Because if the women are chaste, then the children also will be chaste. Children will be proper. And they will not be like a Varna Sankara. Because Varna Sankara only creates lot of disturbance in the society, which is now seen everywhere. So if the mothers are protected properly, then there is a good progeny which becomes very efficient generation next. So for good generation, next, women need to be protected. Fourth, he says, the protection of children. When we protect children, then we are giving them chance for future Krishna consciousness. Nicely. The whole society becomes Krishna conscious. Prabhupada writes about the Garbhadan Samskar also, that protection of children starts even before they are begotten. Like that. And fifth, he says, the protection of the old men gives them a chance to prepare themselves for better life after death. So we are giving them chance for future preparation. And we can see in Vedic culture, lot of knowledge is transferred from one generation to another generation through this old generation. So that's also it's very important when the new generation is coming, and then they are guided like that. So here we see that that's how the whole culture is maintained nicely. When these 5 people, Brahmanas, cows, women, children, and old people, when they are protected, then the society is peaceful. I remember in one of the ISKCON center, for tens of years, lot of problems were happening. So when the GBC came there, then they saw. Then the meeting, he announced that we have to take some remedial measures. And then his measure was take care of cows, who were kind of so much neglected. He said, you take care of the cows, Krishna will be pleased, and then everything will happen. So some devotees were looking at him and like, what is this measure? There are no funds coming, devotees are quarreling, and then it's like things are not in proper shape. So he said, no problem. Then he took the most efficient members in that society and put them in Goseva. And then slowly things started developing. So we see that this is not just a theory, this is practical. Wherever all these 5 things are protected, Krishna becomes pleased, and then all prosperity comes. So in our Brahmacharya ashram also we see that when things are protected, principles are protected, Like for example, Brahmacharya ashram, devotee join, and then there is a great loss when somebody leaves. Leaves in a sense, he goes and then takes a job or whatever, and then he can lead nice life. But then the opportunity for powerful direct Krishna consciousness is lost in that sense. So generally we see that when we come leaving aside the homely atmosphere of our father, mother of this world, and then we come to the ashram. If ashram is not providing us the same facility of home, then people they tend to think, okay, let me go back because my previous home was better. So what makes it a home? Any house or any group of people, when things becomes homely, can you tell me some things? What makes a home?
Adjustment.
Okay, dadati pratigranati. Okay, nice relationship. We can see also that uh, somebody becomes sick in home. You have seen how things are taken care. Even when you sneeze, mother brings a kada, and then the others are asking time to time. You feel like really secure. No, keep it here only because Maharaj is supposed to come. So in between, if Maharaj's call comes, we'll take a break. I'll go and meet him 10 minutes. So, what was that?
Somebody sick, homely dealing.
So, okay, anything makes it home?
They respect each other.
Yeah, they respect each other. Even if they disagree, they may not like, or they may not like the way you know do many things. But then they have that he's my brother or he's my sister. So that respect is there. Okay, good.
Everyone is trying to please and serve others. That is the
Yeah.
selfless.
So selflessness is there in the home. That's how you see that many times the mother goes selfless service, father is doing selfless service. Although your exam is there, but brother comes and helps you, like that. So that's what makes the home attractive. Okay. What else? Acceptance. That even if somebody has done mistake, he is accepted. Even if somebody is failed, he is accepted in home. Others may criticize him, but he is accepted in home. He may have done some wrong. He must have fought outside and slapped somebody. They may come, but then mother puts you behind. She says that, chhod do. So that acceptance is there, which brings that homely feeling. Okay.
Sense of belonging.
Okay, sense of belonging. You belong. You feel that this is my home, my relatives, my father, my mother. So that belonging is there. Okay.
Fighting like brother.
Fighting like brothers.
Without envious then
Okay. Okay. So there is a sweet pastimes. Like that. They are not in. Right, na? Okay. What else?
sharing joys and sorrow.
Okay, sharing joys and sorrows. We can see that if something has happened, everybody comes together. You have seen that somebody dies, you will see all relatives they come. You have seen that? They will take 2 days off and then they will come just to tell that, don't worry, hey, hum, aapke saath. Or somebody is admitted in the hospital. Everybody comes. All the brothers, this, that, everybody comes. So that gives that feeling of sharing joys and. Okay, what you are telling?
Adjustment, we adjust.
Adjust. When we have only 3 rooms in our home and then lot of guests they come. We know how to adjust. So many, like, we do so many things.
Sharing common goal or objective.
Yeah, there is a common goal. So they all come together, discuss, decide, keeping something common. Okay. What else?
Protection.
Protection. So mother, father, brother, they make sure that each other is protected. Protected from uh, physical protection, mental protection, emotional protection. Everything is done. So because we have some seniors, dada, dadi, nana, nani type, they take care of your emotional protection. Even if father is angry, then that person can go to grandmother, and then grandmother chastises father, whatever, and then she says, "Don't worry." So that gives lot of mental, emotional stability. Nowadays, that is not there, even homes. Okay, then,
This list everything.
yeah. What else? No, we are talking about ideal home, not current 2 BHK home. That we are not talking about. That is flat. Everything is flat. Nothing is.
Celebrating birthday festival and
Yeah, festivals they come together. So it is not that festival is only for mother. Mother only prepares everything, and no, everybody is having their part in that festival. So we see that this is what makes a home. So it applies to brahmachari ashram also. So when we have protection by others, we cooperate with others, we share our joys and sorrows with others, and then we become instrument in making brahmachari ashram as a home. We cannot say that koi protection nahi de rahe. You give, then others also will start giving. You give emotional support, then others will also start doing it. So when the brahmachari ashram becomes like home, then nobody will leave because he is getting everything here. Like you see in home, who is the center of attraction, center of love?
Small children.
Small children. So we can see that in brahmachari ashram also, who are small children here? New bhaktas. So they should be center of attraction. But generally what happens is, we feel that those who are seniors, they think that we are center of attraction. All love and affection should be posed there. But no, in home, the thing is different. That mother, father, sister, all people, they are focused on nurturing that child by giving a lot of emotional support and things like that. So that's how the children are grown. So similarly in our life also, to the degree we see this happening in brahmacharya ashram, then that brahmacharya ashram also becomes a very powerful, stable ashram. It becomes a home because as a matter of fact, soul is a homely person. Because if you understand, there is no brahmacharya ashram in Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha. There is homely atmosphere only. Either you are there in one of the home in Golok Vrindavan, where you have mother, father, like that, brothers, sisters, Krishna is there, or you are in Vaikuntha somewhere. So unless we have this homeliness, people cannot stay for a long time because that impetus is not there. You can't do tapasya on these issues. Like if there is no food only for 10 days, you can't say that just have a nice tapasya. No, that is need. Similarly, there is a need of body, there is need of mind, there is need of intelligence, there is need of emotions. So all these needs are taken care. Then Brahmacharya ashram also thrives. Then that ashram also becomes very stable. Everybody feels belonging. Everybody feels that okay, I'm accepted here, even if I have some difficulties, failures, like that. Okay. So here Prabhupada writes that the 5 weaker sections has to be protected. Text 6. याजयित्वाश्वमेधैस्तं त्रिभिरुत्तमकल्पकैः तद्यशापं दिक्षु शतमन्योरिवातनो.
Lord Shri Krishna caused 3 well-performed Ashwamedh Yajnas or sacrifice to be conducted by Maharaj Yudhishthira, and thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions, like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices.
This is very amazing that Indra had performed 100 Ashwamedh Yajnas. That's why he is called as Shatakratu. So another name of the Indra is Shakra. Shatakratu, initials. So that's how he signs, Shakra. So Indra has done 100 and Yudhishthira had done how many? 3. But here it says that Yudhishthira Maharaj's fame was more than Indra. Why? Because he was in connection with Krishna. So one thing we can understand, that devotees don't have to work hard like karmis, because their fame, prestige, their all the things related to success comes by Krishna's connection, not by their hard work. And that's how Prabhupada, when he was told that other people are kind of opposing us, that these people are very lazy, they don't do anything, and still their money is increasing, their temples are increasing, the cars are increasing, the neighbors were little envious. So, because they were telling these people they don't work and still they are getting so much money. So what Prabhupada said? So one thing he said, that they can join us. If we are doing better, then join us. And second he said, rich men's sons don't work because they are rich. Otherwise, what is the point? So the king's son don't work. So similarly here, Yudhishthira Maharaj was Supreme Personality of Godhead's favored devotee. Then he don't have to work like Indra. So generally we see that in this world, devotee don't have to try to be perfect, because that perfection needs lot of hard endeavor. But if you just try to please Krishna, that itself is a perfection, which Yudhishthira Maharaj got. Yudhishthira Maharaj was perfect in pleasing Krishna. And that's how Prabhupada writes in the purport that Krishna is equally giving mercy to everybody, but somebody accepts it, then Krishna is more merciful to him. So both way Krishna is there. Krishna is equal in terms of distributing first round. Second round, he distributes to those who are willing to take it. So that cannot be blamed. It's like that. So first serving is given to everybody. And then second serving, Krishna decides. So that's how he says that sun rays are equally distributed, but still there are some places which are always dark. This is not due to the sun, but to the receptive power. Like that. Text 7. Amantra Pandu Putramscha Shanai Yodha Vasanyutaha Dvaipayanadbhi Vipraihi Pujitaihi Pratipujitaha.
Lord Sri Krishna then prepared for his departure. He invited the sons of Pandu after having been worshipped by the Brahmanas.
greeted by Srila Dev. The Lord also reciprocated greetings.
Yeah, in the purport, Prabhupada writes that when Lord was departing he was departing from Hastinapur to Dwarka. There were so many days he was staying there. It is said that Krishna, when he used to come, sometimes he will stay for many months, years, and then Dwarkavasis will be waiting for Krishna. Now, 2 years happened, Krishna didn't come only. So like that. So now he was preparing to depart, and then all the Brahmanas, all the Vyasadeva is here, and all the Pandavas, they came and then they were giving him all worship. Prabhupada writes in the purport that actually Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the recipient, or he is the receiver of all this worship. But because he is also in the role of Kshatriya, he does things according to the Kshatriya tradition. Kshatriya is supposed to worship Brahmanas. He is supposed to worship the sages. So Krishna also does that he worships them and he accepts the respect also from them. Text 8. Gantum krutamatir brahman dvarakam rathamastitah उपलेभे विधावन्तीं उत्तरां भयविह्वलाम्.
As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwaraka, he saw Uttara hurrying toward him in fear.
Yeah. So we see that in life of Pandavas, everything was coming like suddenly something will happen. Suddenly they found Bhima was giving poison. Suddenly they found themselves in Lakshagraha. Suddenly they found they were in the forest for 12 years. So all these things were happening. So here also we see that now everything is going peacefully. All the war is over. Now the Yudhishthira Maharaj has become the king. And then peacefully now King Krishna is departing. And then suddenly Uttara is coming there running. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father. So Krishna was exclusively available for Pandavas, for their dependence on him. Text 9. Pahi pahi uttaro vacha pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate Nanyam tadabhayam pashye yatra mrityuh parasparam.
Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality.
Yeah, so Uttara, who is the wife of Abhimanyu's wife. Abhimanyu is already dead in the battle, and now she is widow, carrying the Parikshit Maharaj inside her room. She comes and then she cries out, Lord, piteously, that please protect, like that. So here the word comes as Yatra Mrityuh Parasparam. Parasparam means in the world of duality. So, in the world of duality, there will be always fear. Because here also we see that she is asking for fearlessness. That give me abhayam. But then, to the degree we are in this world, this duality will exist. And then that fear will be always there. To the degree we come out from this material clutches, we rise ourselves above this competition. This one thing is, at one purport Prabhupada writes that spiritual world means competition-less society, like that Prabhupada writes. Because the competition creates anxiety, competition creates fear, competition creates disturbance, insecurity. But then the spiritual world means without any insecurity, without any fear. So, text 10. Abhidravati mamīša शरस्तप्त यशो विभो कामं दहतु मां नाथ मामे गर्भो निपात्यताम्.
O my Lord, you are all powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. My Lord, let it burn me personally, if you so desire. But please do not let it burn and abort my embryo. Please do me this favor, my Lord.
So here we see that it appears that Uttara was very fearful, and then she was coming and saying, protect, protect. One may say, what is this? How can devotee be so fearful? But then here Uttara clarifies that protect whom? She says that please protect my embryo. I may be burnt, no problem. I can die, but then please protect this embryo because so he is the last of this dynasty. So let this dynasty remain. And then in the purport Prabhupada writes in the end, Uttara was the daughter of a great king. What great king? Uttar. That was the king. That's how he is. Virat. The wife of a great hero. Who? Abhimanyu. Student of a great devotee. Arjuna. And later she was the mother of a good king. Parikshit Maharaj. So Prabhupada writes she was fortunate in every aspect. So in every aspect she was fortunate. Text 11. Suta uvacha upadharya vachastasya Bhagavan bhaktavatsalaha apandavamidam kartum द्रोणेरस्त्रम् अबुध्ययत.
Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard her words, Lord Sri Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotee, would at once understand that Aswathama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown the Brahmastra to finish the last life in the Pandava family.
Yeah. So Krishna could understand that this situation has occurred because Ashwathama has sent the Brahmastra. And then we can see also that every activity in this world is caused by some purpose. What are the purpose of Ashwathama? Yeah, finish the dynasty and take revenge. So we see that every activity in this world is caused by some purpose. And then we see that to the degree our purpose is nice, activity also will be nice. If the purpose is very low, activity also will be low. Here Ashwathama's purpose was very third class, and that's how his activity also was very third class. But as devotees, we have got this fortune to have a very first class purpose of our life, and that is to serve God and serve whole society in relation to God. So then that purpose is the highest purpose, and then that creates the highest form of activity also. So you can see here that there can be many purposes. So his purpose was almost tamaguni, rajaguni purpose, what he was having. Our purpose is Shuddha Sattva, that we want to serve Krishna. So when that purpose is there, then people are very happily engaged in great work, like that. Because we see in this world, nowadays, many people are going through depression. Mild depression to very acute depression. But everybody is having some depression things. Depression means they are not able to concentrate, irritated, always insecure. These are all different aspects of depressed person. So, generally people are depressed not because they don't have activity, They will be very active people, but still depressed. Why? Because of the lack of purpose, lack of some goal in life. They don't know why they are active. So the cause of depression is not lack of activity, it's a cause of the purpose is not there. They don't understand why. Why to work hard? Why to earn money? Why to do all these things? For what? And when that is not clear, then people become depressed.
Ashwatthama was being driven out now of the camp.
Hmm?
Ashwatthama was driven out now of the camp
Huh?
in the last chapter.
Yeah.
So then he again came.
Yeah. So that's what. So similarly in our life also, because we have given away all our other purposes in material life. We wanted to become great person. We wanted to become very rich person. We wanted to become very famous person. Like that. So we have come now here, and if we don't accept the higher purpose of Krishna consciousness, then even at current stage we can be lost. And it happens sometimes that brahmachari doesn't understand sometimes why, what to do. Are we here only for eating feast and then sleeping? And then slowly he starts doing so many other things. Then the Facebook and Instagram becomes his best friend. And then it's like, so why that happens? Because there is no purpose. He doesn't have proper purpose. And that's why it is very important that we read Prabhupada books, which gives that purpose. Otherwise, who is going to give that purpose? So when we read Prabhupada books, then we understand and the purpose becomes very crystal clear. So like that.
Here we are discussing purpose because of Uttara had this purpose to protect him.
Yeah, Uttara had purpose, and then Ashwatthama also had a purpose. Pandavas has their purpose to fight the war. Everybody was doing under some purpose. So some people's purpose was very glorious, some people's purpose was very heinous. Like that. Text 13. Vyasanam viksha tatte sham. Text 13 only, na? Okay, text 12. तर्ह्येवाथ मुनिश्रेष्ठ पांडवा पंचसायका आत्मनो अभिमुखान दीपा अलक्ष्यास्त्राण्युपाददुः.
O foremost among the great thinkers, Munish, Shaunaga, seeing the glaring Brahmas proceeding towards them, the Pandavas took up their 5 respective weapons.
Yeah. So, as we say that, see that the Brahmastra was coming not only for Parikshit Maharaj, it was coming for Pandavas also. So the Brahmastra was shot to finish every Pandava, whoever was there, like that. So, and then all Pandavas, they took their weapons, like that. Text 13. Vyasanam viksha tattesham ananya vishayatmana sudarshanena swastrena swanam raksham vyadad vibhuhu.
The Almighty Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, having observed that a great danger was befalling his unalloyed devotees, who were fully surrendered souls, at once took up his Sudarshan disc to protect them.
So, by seeing that there was no time now for discussion, there was no time for, like in previous case, discussion was there. You saw, na? Arjuna, when he saw the glare, then he asked, ये क्या है? भगवान बोले कि this is ब्रह्मास्त्र है. तो पूछा उन्होंने क्या करने का? बोले तुम भी छोड़ो. So then he took Achman and then, but here there was no time because things were more emergency. So without thinking any other thing, he took Sudarshan. Vyasanam viksha tatyesha ananya vishayatmanam. Prabhupada writes ananya vishayatmanam means that he behaves according to the quality of degree of devotional service rendered by the devotees. Here the word ananya vishayatmanam is significant. Pandavas are 100% devotees dependent on the protection of the Lord. So somebody is like that, ananya vishayatmanam, then the Lord personally takes care of their protection. Like that. And then Prabhupada writes about the Brahmastra also. This Brahmastra is the product of more subtle science, being the product of finer sound. A mantra recorded in the Vedas. That this mantra can produce such powerful effect that it can destroy the whole universe. So, and then Prabhupada writes, another advantage of this weapon is that it is not blind, like the nuclear weapon. It can be directed only to the target and nothing else. Yeah. And then in the down, Prabhupada writes, when the Lord saw that there was no time for the Pandavas to counteract the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, he took up his weapon even at the risk of breaking his own vow. Although the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still according to his vow, he should not have taken up his own weapon.
Last line also that the Brahmastra is not like that comparing to Atamba. It marks out the target and proceeds accordingly without harming the innocent.
Yeah, so
here Parikshit Maharaj in the womb, it was targeted to him.
yeah. So
The question is whether Parikshit Maharaj.
Yeah. No. The innocent in a sense, outside target. Outside target is innocent. Like that. When he's targeted, he's the enemy. So,
Both were countered by Krishna.
yeah. Even if there were many, he would have done it.
Actually, before this incident, Ashwatthama broke many laws. He did such heinous act. And then he didn't listen Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna also. And still he is having so much power of using Brahmastra. So how is it happening? Because for that one needs the abilities. Qualification is required for such a one.
Yeah, so that much qualification he had to send it. That's how he could send. Otherwise, how can he send? That means even a demon also had some qualification to send astra like that. Huh?
Prabhuji, the money was removed, right? So he lost his power.
Yeah.
In addition to that.
But that money, that the jewel was considered very valuable by himself. That was his life and soul. So that was taken away, which was like his life.
So he became powerless.
Mm.
So how could he save the
That's what we are discussing, that power are of different levels and this power he maintained. That's how he is sending it. Like that. Okay.
तो ये भगवान श्री कृष्ण व्यसन से बचाने के लिए पांडवों को
हाँ।
व्यसन उठाए
हाँ.
और आजकल लोग पैसे से व्यसन खरीदते हैं
Yes. No, Vyasan in Sanskrit means danger. So, like that. Vyasan bhi danger hai, Hindi ka. But then, Vyasan means danger.
They are not Ananya Vishaya.
एक्चुअली व्यसन मीन्स कोई विपसन विपरीत असन जो भोजन के विपरीत जो है वो व्यसन
So here, the Bhakta Vatsalata of the Lord is understood. Prabhupada writes that although the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still, according to his vow, he should not have taken up his own weapon. But the emergency was more important than the vow. He is better known as Bhakta Vatsala or the lover of his devotees, and thus be preferred to continue as Bhakta Vatsala than to be worldly moralist who never breaks his solemn vow. So, Krishna doesn't care for worldly morality when it comes to protect his devotees. Like that. And that's how Krishna you'll find breaking his vows. Krishna you find lying many times. Krishna, and that's how when it comes in Bhagavad Gita that Kaunteha pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. The Acharya has described there that why Krishna is not proclaiming that I proclaim that my devotees never are harmed, they are protected. So the Acharya has described there that Krishna has some doubt because some people they don't trust him as authority, but then they trust his devotees more as an authority. So he tells Krishna tells Arjuna instead that if I go, people may take it other way. They may not be very confident. But if you go and tell that Krishna protect his devotees, they will be more accepting your words. So here we see that this quality of Bhakta Vatsalata is foremost for Krishna. Like that. Okay, text 14. Antasta sarvabhutanam Atma Yogeshwaro Harihi Swamayaya Brunot Garbham Vai Swamayaya Brunotgarbham Vairātyaha Kurutantave.
The Lord of Supreme Mysticism, Sri Krishna, resides within everyone's heart as Paramatma. As such, thus to protect the progeny of Kuru dynasty, he covered the embryo of Uttara by his personal energy.
So we see here that as you see here in so this is how see in first the Brahmastra is coming. Parikshit Maharaj is very much distressed. But then Krishna come in between and then protects. And Parikshit Maharaj is folding his palms and looking at Krishna. You see that? So that's how his name became Parikshit. Because he saw beautiful form of Krishna with forehand protecting him, and when he came out he was always looking for the same form everywhere, and then he used to go person to person check whether he is the same person which I saw in the womb. And that's how, like a small boy, he will go and pariksha of everybody, that examine everybody. So that's how his name became Parikshita. Yeah. So Purport Prabhupada writes, the Lord of the Supreme Mystics, Sarva Bhutatma Yogeshwaro Harihi. What is his mysticism? His mysticism is that he can be outside also, sitting on the chariot, departing, and at the same time, he is covering the embryo of Uttara. It is not that Krishna was sitting on the chariot and then when he went inside Uttara's womb, he was missing from there. Everybody is thinking, where is Krishna? Kahan gaye? Aisa nahi tha. Krishna was personally present and then he entered in Uttara's womb also and he was taking care of that outside Astra also. So he was doing everything. That's why here he is called as Sarva Bhutatma Natma Yogeshwaro Harihi. Yeah. Text 15. Yadyapyastram brahmashiras amogham cha pratikriyam vaishnavam teja asadya samashamyad bhrugudvaha. Yeah.
O Shaunaka, although the supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama was irresistible and without check or counteraction, it was neutralized and foiled when confronted by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna.
Yeah. So here we see that the Brahmastra sent by Ashwatthama, who was acting as a common person in this world, acting on behalf of the material energy with some very lowly purpose like that. And then that is described here as Amogha. Amogha means, yeah, you can't, without check, you can't check it. It will come. And Apratikriya means cannot be counteracted. So you can't stop it, neither you can counteract it, resolve it. So like that the Astra was. So we see when such situation is there which cannot be checked, which cannot be counteracted. When such situation comes in our life, Uttara, what she did? Neither she tried to check it, neither she started to counteract it. What she did? She just cried. So Pahi Pahi, Mahayogini, Deva Deva, Jagatpate. So that's how we see in the 9th sloka that her reaction was Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Tvadabhayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. So that was the response of Uttara when things were Amogha and Apratikriyam. And then we see that Vaishnava Tej Asadya, that Vaishnava Tej appeared there to protect her. So in this world, the strength is not in counteracting the situations we cannot counteract. The strength is not in checking the situations which we cannot check. The strength is in taking shelter, crying out. So devotee's strength is not fighting with Maya. Devotee's strength is calling out Krishna. So to the degree we call out Krishna, that is our strength. Maya may be any strong. So we don't have to fight with Maya. We have to just call out Krishna. So more fervently we can call out Krishna. That is our strength. Like that. Because which Maharaj this? Holy name, he has written many books. Satchidananda. He was telling that when he was a school boy, although he comes from a very nice family, I think his father was some railway officer or something, big post. But then generally outside that's how they have that when they become teenage, they start earning themselves. And then that's how they become independent in that. So he also was going for some kind of earning in his vacation, Saturday, Sunday, like that. So he had taken the job of distributing newspapers. So he was telling that, and then he used to tell that even if 2 days you distribute newspaper in a week, you can take out your week's expenses like that. What is it? So then he used to go, and then he was telling one place he went, opened the gate, went inside, and he was about to keep the paper outside of the house. And then he saw that there was a almost 5 feet high dog charging to him, which he didn't see when he opened the gate outside. And then he saw that he was like a tiger only, huge. And then he said he was shouting so loudly, he felt that now gone. And then the dog was coming very fast, and then he was kind of so scared. So he left all his papers and started shouting loudly. That time he was not. So by seeing his shout, the inside person came out running, owner. And then he saw the situation that small boy is there and this big dog is coming. And then dog was so terrifying. So then he just told, Tommy, sit down. So that dog sat down like that. And then he was like, felt so relieved that I'm saved today. And then he walked off. So Maharaj is telling that story that the dog was very powerful. Even if he could have come, I could not have fought with him. There's no scope only. He would have eaten me up. But then, by hearing my call, owner came out, and then he just said one word, Tommy, sit down. And then he sat down like a small cat. So then he was telling, this is what devotees are supposed to do. When the difficulties come, it is very impulsive and the first reaction of anybody to see how to fight. But then it takes devotional understanding to make this as our first reflex action, and that is to take shelter. So whenever something happens in our life, any difficulty, for example, when the health crisis happens, do we really think of Krishna? We think about doctor only. When somebody insults us, do we think of Krishna? We think how to fight back. When failure happens, do we think about Krishna, or we think how to kind of gain victory? So we see that many places are very potent opportunities for us to actually call out Krishna. Like here we see that Uttara, she did not call Pandavas, Arjuna, please save me. Looks like Brahmastra, you also send your Brahmastra. She didn't go to Arjuna. She didn't go to Bhima. She didn't go to Yudhishthir. She came directly to Krishna. So that's what devotee is distinguished from other than devotees. So when there is a situations, difficulties which are amogha and apratikriyam, the strength of devotee is to cry out. And then that cry out, when he does that crying out, that brings that Vaishnava Teja. which covers and protects, like that. Okay, text 16.
Amoga is both the same.
No.
Check and to tell.
One is you can't stop it, another is you can't destroy it. You can't resolve it. You can't postpone it, neither you can destroy it. One is pause, another is stop. Delete. So you can't. Text 16. Yeah.
So, yes, when we are discussing this, taking shelter of Krishna in different situations like this, how does the devotee becomes different from those four pious persons, the first category of the four pious persons?
Yeah. Artho artharthi jitnyasi jnani cha bhartarshapa. So here now Uttara comes in which category? Artho artharthi jitnyasi jnani cha bhartarshapa.
Uttara comes in the Ita category. That category Uttara.
Yeah. So the devotees take shelter of Krishna. Like in that same Ita category, the example comes of Draupadi. So Draupadi also, although she was crying for her own chastity to be saved, but that doesn't come under material. She was not asking some material boon, material protection. So for a devotee, when he is praying to Krishna, that okay, somebody is having cancer, and then he is praying to Krishna that let this cancer go away so that I can serve you nicely. That comes in which category? Yeah. So that also comes depending on his devotional status. So there can be many gradations, that he may be materially motivated in praying for better health, and devotee also prays for better health. And that,
Then it's always better to be on the safer side.
yeah, so better to be safe side on Krishna's side.
No, better to be safer side means because the devotional platform is not there so much.
Hmm.
We can just look to Krishna only for the material gains or for the desired platform only.
No, how the thing is, devotee is humbly taking shelter of Krishna and utilizing the intelligence given by Krishna, so that Krishna is not bothered, like that. For example, when somebody is sick, having fever, he depends on Krishna, understanding that this is Krishna's plan, and then he goes to doctor and takes the medicine. In Ayurveda also it is said that while taking medicine you chant Vishnu's mantra and then you take medicine. So you understanding this, that Vishnu is only going to cure me through this medicine.
What the Artha person will do?
Artha person also will do same thing.
Then how about
That's why he is called as a very great soul, pious person.
still they don't come to the Kanishta platform.
Yeah. So because there is a possibility of when that Arthata is gone, he may leave. So in devotee's case, even if that difficulty is gone, for example, outside person when he is sick, he goes to Krishna. When sickness is gone, he may leave Krishna. That doesn't happen with devotees. Devotee may go to Krishna and become cured, and still he continues worshipping Krishna. That's where the devotees differs from. And second difference is, outside person goes to Krishna, tells cure me, and then he doesn't get cured. Then he becomes averse to Krishna. Devotee, it doesn't happen like that.
You were telling this Artha, Draupadi, and people are not in Artha category. You give
They-
examples of Draupadi, Gajendra, they are in Artha category, Artha, they Dhruva,
Yeah. But then if you see typically,
they are so
go in the details. Draupadi's example is given in Nectar of Devotion, in this category of
Ita.
Ita.
Only I will
अन्य अभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्मादिका. Okay, we are on which shloka?
16 now will be
16 we are going to. Okay. मामंस्तामेतदाश्चर्यम् सर्वाश्चर्यम् अयेच्युत य इदं मायया देव्या सृजत्यवति हन्त्यजः.
O Brahmanas, do not think this to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of Godhead. By his own transcendental energy, he maintains and annihilates all material things, although he himself is unborn.
Prabhupada writes in the purport, the activities of the Lord are always inconceivable to the tiny brain of the living entity. Nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord, but all his actions are wonderful for us, and thus he is always beyond the range of our conceivable limits. Because for Lord, who destroys the universes, not one universe, millions of universes, by just his mere will, what is so difficulty in destroying 2 or 3 or 5 Brahmastras? So it's just some big man playing with some toy like that. So there is not much difficulty for Krishna to deal with this Brahmastra. Text 17.
In the 15th one, it is explained Brahmajyoti of Krishna. It actually is Brahmastra.
Where?
Previous to this, the glare of the Brahmastra and the Brahman effulgence Prabhupada is mentioning. 15th purport, 15th verse.
So?
Pure devotees, they realize this Brahman feature and Paramatma feature. Do they get affected by this? Just like we hear, for a pure devotee, everything becomes heaven. The attack is
Where is the Brahmajyoti? In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Brahmajyoti, or the glowing transcendental effulgence, is resting on Lord Krishna. In other words, the glowing effulgence known as Brahma Tejas is nothing but the rays of the Lord, just as the sun rays are rays of the sun disk. So this Brahma weapon also, although materialistically irresistible, could not surpass the supreme strength of the Lord. The weapon called Brahmastra, released by Ashwatthama, was neutralized and foiled by Lord Krishna by his own energy. That is to say, he did not wait for any other's help because he is absolute. Yeah. So ultimately, if you see in all respects, whether which weapon or what, the strength is coming from Krishna only. As the Prahlad Maharaj asked Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, from where you are getting the strength? He says, from wherever you are getting strength, from there only I am getting. So,
Prahlad said he was a pure devotee, he was seeing Krishna everywhere. So all the material elements were becoming favorable to protect him, not hurting him. So here, pure devotee, like how Pandavas, how they were feeling affected by this.
no, that whether somebody is affected or not affected, that is also Krishna's sometimes different leelas. If Krishna, sometimes Krishna is affected by the arrows of Bhishma, but then that is not that he is powerless or something. That is his leela. So sometimes he also gets affected, just as a leela, and sometimes the devotees are also affected. Okay, where are we? 16. So 17th, no? Okay, text 17. ब्रह्मतेजोर्विनिर्मुक्तैः आत्मजैः सह कृष्णया प्रयाणाभिमुखं कृष्णम् इदम् आह पृथा सती.
Thus, saved from the radiation of Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons, and Draupadi, addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home.
Yeah. So here we see that Kunti, now Kunti starts, the prayer starts from next verse, text 18 onwards. So when they understood that now the Parikshit Maharaj is safe, embryo is saved, some of the acharyas they also tell that when the Ashwatthama shot that Brahmastra has already target successful, that the embryo was burnt. But then Krishna entered and again he revived. So basically for Krishna there is no problem. Whether it's success, no success, he can turn out anything into what he wants. So when thus saved from the radiation of Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons, and Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home. Purport Prabhupada writes that Kunti is described here in as Sati, chaste, due to her unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. So here we see that devotees, their life is always keeping Krishna and Krishna's plan in center. Like here, they fought the battle. Why? Because Krishna wanted it. They became the king. Why? Because they wanted it. Krishna wanted it. They were in the Vanvas because Krishna was desiring that. They did these 3 Ashwamedha yajnas. Why? Because Krishna wanted it. So whatever Krishna wanted, they are ready to become like that. Prabhupada writes in the Purport, they knew nothing except Krishna, and therefore the Lord was also always ready to help them in all respects, in all circumstances. This is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He reciprocates the dependence of the devotee. That however we are dependent, to that degree Krishna will help us. So like that. And then he says, such a chaste devotee also never asks the Lord for help, but the Lord, out of his own accord, is always anxious to render it. So, chaste devotee may not even ask for the help, but then anyway, Lord will help. Like that. This gives a kind of reminds one, 2 great devotees, they were doing parikrama of Govardhan. And then somehow they saw that very wild elephant coming, charging on the same path. So he was not doing parikrama, he was doing ulta. So he was coming on them. So when they saw that life is in danger, one devotee ran and sat on the tree. Another devotee stood there only, just facing the elephant. And then the elephant came and then just sat there, took U-turn and went. Didn't harm anything. So the devotee sitting on the tree came down. He asked, hey, amazing. The elephant came and he didn't do anything, he just went. Your devotion is very amazing that Krishna helped you. So he said, yeah, but then why did you are also devotee, and then don't you have faith in Krishna? How can you run away and sit on the tree? So this another devotee said that Yeah, I believe in Krishna, I have faith in Krishna. But I felt that why to bother Krishna for such a small thing? Why should Krishna should be troubled just to protect me? Who am I? So I thought that I have strength to go and climb on the tree, so I climb on the tree. So who is having faith? Both are having faith. One is having faith that Krishna will anyway protect. Another is having faith that why to trouble Krishna? I'll protect myself. And in case the elephant comes and plucks at the tree only, then Krishna will save me. Like that. So both are having faith in Krishna. So here Kunti, she is having faith in Krishna. Like that. Okay. Now, amazing section comes is that Kunti starts offering prayers. You all are awake?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, these are amazing verses by Queen Kunti. Very powerful, very instructive, like that. Text 18. Kunti Uvacha Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrute Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahiravasthitam. So here Kunti is witnessing this whole episode, that she has witnessed how Krishna saved Pandavas from so many difficulties. Krishna saved Pandavas from war. Krishna saved Pandavas from Brahmastra. Krishna saved now Uttara and her womb also. After seeing all these things, although Kunti is the aunt of Krishna, because Vasudeva and Kunti, they are brothers and sisters. So she had love for Krishna in that maternal type of feeling. But seeing the activity of Krishna, she has overwhelmed with the honor for Krishna. And that's how she says Namasye, that I bow down. So Krishna is telling, my dear aunt, why you are bowing down? I am just your nephew. So Kunti says, no, you are a Purusha. So Krishna says, yes, I am Purusha. There are so many Purushas. So then she says, no, you are not just Purusha, you are Adi Purusha. Adyam. There is no beginning, no end, like that. So Krishna says, souls are also Adyam. They also don't have beginning. And she says, you are not just Adi Purusha, you are Ishvara. Krishna says that Ishvara, in the heavens there are so many Ishvaras. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, they are also Ishvaras. They control so many things. So in this Prakriti there are so many Ishvaras. So Kunti says that there are so many Ishvaras in this who are controllers. But then you are Prakrute Param. You are controller of Prakriti also, and then you are beyond Prakriti also. That's what you are. So then say, oh, I am Param. Am I Paramatma who is Param? He says, no, you are not Paramatma only. Because the Paramatma, Alaksham. Alaksham means invisible. Prabhupada writes in the purport in one other place that Paramatma realization can be achieved even on the strength of intelligence. So somebody by knowledge can achieve the realization of Paramatma. So by quoting this Alaksham, Kunti is telling that you are beyond Paramatma also, because Paramatma is still under approach. It can be approached. Then Krishna says, am I the all-pervading Brahman. So then she says that Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir that you are present everywhere, but you are not able to be seen. So now this 18, 19 and 20 slokas, they are the qualifications to see Krishna. Who is qualified to see Krishna? That is given in these 3 verses. So the first verse, she is making sure that who is Krishna and why he is not visible normally. So here he says that so Queen Kunti affirms that the Lord, although born within and without all living beings, he is still invisible. Although Lord is everywhere, still he is invisible. Text 19. Maya Javanika Channam Adnyadhokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshase Mudhadrisha Nato Natyadharo Yatha. So she is telling that, my dear Lord, I am not able to see you. When we say not able to see you means what? So she is describing Maya Javanika Channam. That there is a curtain you put. Wherever you go, you always carry this curtain. But this curtain is of Maya Javanika. And what happens because of that? You cover yourself and then nobody can see you. Like. So then all this very nicely commented by Chakravarti Thakur. So he gives this very nice conversation between Kunti and Krishna like that. So that's how he captures the emotions of Kunti and Krishna. And that's how these verses are like that. So when Kunti is telling Maya Javanika Channam, that you are covered by Maya Javanika, Krishna asks Kunti that, you mean to say that I am covered by Maya? She says, no, you are not covered by Maya. I am covered by Maya. That's how I am not able to see you. The way the sun is not covered by a cloud. Who is covered by the cloud? Our eyes are covered by the cloud. So she says that Maya Javanika Channam. So the clouds are creating disturbance in seeing Krishna. And that's how the ahead word comes. Adnya dokshajam avyayam. I am Adnya. Why I am Adnya? Because my Jnana is always dependent on Akshaja. So because my knowledge is dependent on my senses. That's what covers me from seeing you. So that's how more the material knowledge is, more it makes us not see Krishna like that. It makes us, that becomes like cloud. So all Akshaja, no, Akshaja means? Aksha means eye, which is the kind of chief of the senses. So Aksha means the senses represented by eye. Ja means Janma, born. So the knowledge born through the senses, that is called as Akshaja. So anything born like that. So another meaning also is that Aksha means the alphabets, they start with A and ends with Ksha. A, A, I, U, O, O, A. I don't know whether. Ka, Ka, Khu, Ka, Ka. So you have that. Ta, ta, da, da. Pa, 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 ma. So that is Aksha. So all the material knowledge which comes under this category cannot bring us close to Krishna, or that cannot give us access to Krishna. So this cloud is Akshaja, the knowledge which comes from this senses, that becomes a block. So that is covering not the Lord. That is covering who? Us only. The sun is like Krishna, and this cloud is creating disturbance to us, not Krishna.
This second definition of Akshara. Sanskrit knowledge. That knowledge is not coming in her end.
Yeah, why not?
That is also coming in her to Akshara.
Yeah,
Vedic knowledge.
Vedic. Yeah, any knowledge. That's why Shankaracharya says, na, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrum Karane. So he says Dukrum Karane means Vyakarana will not be able to save you at the time of death. Because that is Aksharya. So you have to take shelter of Krishna only. So like that. So here, neither the knowledge of material science, neither the just philosophical understanding will help us to approach Krishna. And then she says that the person who is like that, Adnya, not able to approach Krishna because of his material knowledge. And that's how people, they don't see you. People, they don't understand you. But then, next word is used, avyayam. Avyaya means there is no loss. So Kunti is telling that just because people, they don't know you, people, they don't see you, doesn't make any loss to you. You remain avyaya only. So, generally, we feel that so many people, they don't know Krishna, that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna doesn't least care who knows him and who doesn't know him. Some small portion of this material world doesn't know Krishna, doesn't make any difference to him. Where unlimited living entities in spiritual world are eternally glorifying him with pure love. And then some small portion doesn't know him or hate him. How does Krishna is made less by that? That's why she's telling that you still remain avyaya, even if there are so many fools who don't know. But then Krishna says that you are at least seeing me. Why you are telling na laksha se? Mood they cannot see, that's okay. But you are seeing me, I am standing in front of you. He says, no, I am not able to see you. And then she says that nato natya dharo yatha, that the way some person is there who is actor and is dancing very nicely in nice rhythm and tal and things like that. But somebody has no idea what is tal and what is rhythm. Then although he is seeing him dance, but he is not able to appreciate, for he is just seeing. Somebody who has some understanding of music, classical music, he sits and then person is singing like that. And then you'll find some people clapping, wah wah, and some people just look around, why they're clapping, why he just. So now he's sitting there hearing, but actually he's not hearing, he's not able to understand anything. Kya chal raha hai? So here Kunti, in her great humility, she is telling that I am seeing you, but actually I am not seeing you. I am not able to understand who you are. So that's how she says, nato natya dharo yatha. You are still invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized.
Avyaya means irreproachable.
Yeah.
You said that Krishna doesn't care for some people in the material world. But like, what does irreproachable?
Vyaya means what?
Way.
Vyaya.
Waste like ends.
So Vyaya means expense. Vyaya means
Left out.
like decrease.
Decrease.
Avyaya means one who doesn't decrease, doesn't become less. So that's how Chakravarti Pad writes this, that Krishna is avyayam, means Krishna doesn't become less by not being understood by a few people. Like that. And then this irreproachable. Huh?
How does that relate?
That may not relate word to word. Chakravarti Pad is telling another meaning of that avyaya. This avyaya, Prabhupada is telling another meaning of avyaya.
The English meaning says beyond criticism, faultless.
Yeah,
English meaning.
yeah. So English meaning of reproachable is beyond criticism. Okay. So we see here that Ajna means one who is not able to see Krishna. But then there are two people. One is they are able to see but not understand, and others are see and understand. So it is not just only seeing, but then seeing also intuitively means understanding. So Kunti is telling, I am seeing you, but I am not able to see. That means I am not able to understand your greatness.
So Kunti Maharani is considering Nalakshya se Mula Drusha.
Yeah, she is considering herself. Prabhupada writes that in the middle, Prabhupada writes that as is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by such authoritative personalities as Vyasadeva, Asita, Narada, Madhva, Shankara, Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and all other authorities of the line. He himself has declared as much in many places of the authentic literatures, and yet there is a class of men with demonic mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as the supreme absolute truth. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy. So, because of these two things, people they don't accept Krishna. One, poor fund of knowledge because they are ignorant, and other people are knowledgeable but stubborn. They don't want to. So both are called as a Ajna. Yeah. And then Prabhupada writes in the later part, for less intelligent men, there must be such things as temple, mosques and churches, so that they may begin to recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about Him from the authorities in such holy places. So that is the need of the temples. We see in Kali Yuga specifically, so much need is there of these temples because people are not able to see Krishna. People are not able to approach Krishna, and that's where the temples come in picture. Temples become the object where this can be achieved. Then they come to temple. Prabhupada writes, for less intelligent persons, bowing down before the authority of the Lord, as generally done in the temples, mosques or churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotees to meditate upon Him by active service. So he says that as much as the advanced devotees can see Krishna and experience love for Krishna, that much benefit is there temple provides for ignorant people. When they come, they can also see Krishna as Radha Ras Bihari. They can also pay obeisances to Radha Ras Bihari. And by that they get the same benefit as some Paramhamsas. They can get benefit by meditating on Krishna. So that's how we see that what facility created by our acharyas, that is far beyond any mundane help somebody can give. Acharyas, they give direct access to Krishna. Because here we see that accessing Krishna is not so easy, but that is made easy very kind of freely, without any qualification, because of the mercy of acharyas. Like that. Text 20. Yatha paramahamsanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katham pashyema hi striyah. So here Kunti Devi is telling who can see Krishna. Previously she said that I cannot see you. Now she is telling who can see you. He says Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam. He says that actually you are only seen by those who are Paramhamsas, Munis, great philosophers, Amalatmanam, those whose minds are completely pure. Amalatmanam. They can discriminate between matter and spirit. So, Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham, that you are the object of their bhakti. Bhakti Yoga Vidhana Artham. So, here she is telling that we can't see you, who is the object of Bhakti Yoga, of Paramahamsa, Munis, Amalatmanam. So, the Acharyas, they say that this the shloka Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha Api Urukrame Kurvanti Ahitukim Bhaktim Itham Bhuta Guno Harihi. So that is connected here, that this bhakti is done by Paramhamsa, Munis and Amalatmanams. And then all these personalities only can they are the recipient of mercy of the Lord, and then they only can see you. Like that. And then she is telling that because I am only a Katham Pashe Mahi Striyaha, as a Stri who is by normal means also less intelligent, how can I see you? And how can I see you also means that I am not able to understand, because you protected Pandavas, I can understand. But you killed the sons of Pandavas, I cannot understand. It's like you are protecting Pandavas and then killing Abhimanyu, killing 5 sons. So you killed the sons of Draupadi, Subhadra. How I understand? You tell that Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, vagara vagara. And then those who are very pious, pure-hearted, like Bhishma, and then you kill them. So how I am to understand this? That's how she is telling Katham Pashe Mahi Striyaha. So that she says that I don't know how you are performing your pastimes. Like that. This Abhimanyu was just a 16-year-old. And Abhimanyu is the son of whom? Arjuna and Subhadra. Subhadra is who? Subhadra. That. Who is Subhadra? Sister of Krishna. So at one side he is protecting Pandavas, and other side he is not protecting person who is more to be protected. He is a small boy, 16 years, and then he is killed. So I don't know what is happening here. That's how she says that Katham Pashyami Striya. The Mahabharata tells that this Abhimanyu was the son of moon god. His name was Varcha. And then as Krishna had told that I'll appear, so you also appear. So all the demigods, they had appeared in the different dynasties. Vrishni, Andhaka, Satvata, like that. So then this son also of moon god appeared. But then moon god was very much in separation. So she said that you go and quickly come. So that's how she wanted him as early as possible. So at the age of 16 only, he said, ho gaya. So now he wanted to go back. So Krishna arranged his departure like that. So now, Abhimanyu, Varcha.
Similarly, there must be a story of 5 sons.
Everybody has a story. You have one story, I have one story. Everybody has something. But here in the purport, Prabhupada very amazingly writes, here he is telling that I cannot see you. But in the purport, Prabhupada writes that women are very nice. They are, because they have a very natural faith, you see that whenever there is a program, house program or congregation program, you find 70-80% Matajis sitting. And Prabhupada says because they have that natural faith, they can come and sit.
They won't
So,
speculate.
huh?
They won't speculate.
They won't speculate.
Yes,
So,
yes,
huh?
Prabhupada writes that they are blessed by you.
Yeah. So Prabhupada writes that they are blessed. This simplicity of acceptance of the Lord's authority is more effective than showy, insincere religious fervor. Last line of this purport. He says that this simplicity of acceptance of the Lord's authority is more effective than showy, insincere religious fervor. This is Prabhupada's amazing linguistic. That Prabhupada is writing here that because this mothers are very easily they put faith in anybody, and that becomes easy for them to come in touch with Krishna because that nature is there like that. So till that, now till 18, 19, 20, she was telling about who is not able to see Krishna and who is able to see Krishna like that. Now 21 text, she starts glorifying. Okay, I'll show this. You are able to see? So these are the overview of Queen Kunti's prayers. First is qualification to see Krishna. In the first 3 shlokas we saw, 18, 19, 20. Now 21st is Krishna's holy name. And then she describes Krishna's form. Then she describes Krishna's qualities. Then she describes Krishna's pastimes, activities. Then she talks about Krishna's birth, Janma Karma. Then she talks about the prayers for Lord's mercy, like that. So the whole, this is how Kunti prays. So now she starts the Krishna's names. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Yes?
Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances to the Lord who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of the Lord, and the enlivener of the cows and senses.
Yeah. So here, very nicely she is taking the names of Krishna. So first he says, Krishnaya, telling that amongst all the incarnations and all the avtaras, everything, who is best? Krishna. That's why she says Krishnaya. And then she starts telling the Krishna's names in relationship with his devotees. And then she says that my brother Vasudeva is so fortunate. Why? Because you became his son. So fortunate. And then she says that Devaki is more fortunate. Why? Because she was mother and she carried you inside the womb. All the great souls, they want to carry you, but it's very difficult. But then that fortune was been given by you to Devaki, who is the wife of Vasudeva. She is more fortunate. And then she says the most fortunate is Nanda, because Gopakumaraya, that you perform childhood pastimes which are most attractive in the house of Nanda Maharaj. And that's how that shloka comes, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much liked. Shrutimidare. Then
Bhajanta bhavapita aham tabiha nannam vande yasya linde param brahma.
so he says Yasya Linde Param Brahma. That others, I don't care what they worship. Others, they may study the Vedas, others, they may study Mahabharat, and they may do what not. For me, it's very clear. I worship Nanda Maharaj. So, like that he says. Why Nanda Maharaj? No. At whose courtyard the same Parabrahma is crawling, who else is to be worshipped then? That's how. What is his name? Raghupati Upadhyay. So he writes like that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so ecstatic after seeing that. He said that by this one verse, Raghupati Upadhyay has purchased me. I have become his. Like that. So that is how here also she is glorifying Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. And then she says that so Nanda is most fortunate. Here it is not written, but in 31st sloka ahead, she writes, most fortunate. Who? Mother Yashoda. Because she was not only just having the pastimes, but more intimate pastimes. And then says, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay, text 22. Now here she describes about the form of the Lord. She described about the name of the Lord in 21st, 22nd. She is describing about the form of the Lord. Namah Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye.
My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as a lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
Yeah. So here she is describing the form of the Lord, and she is telling that actually I am not able to see you, but at least I am able to see your beautiful form. I may not have any understanding. So she here is said that Vasudeva is fortunate, Devaki is more fortunate, Nanda is most fortunate, Yashoda is most fortunate, Govinda, the dear to gopis, they are most fortunate. But then she says, I am also fortunate. Why? Because I am also seeing you. So then she is describing the form of the Lord. And then the Acharyas, they describe that generally the form of the Lord is taken darshan, starting from lotus feet. But then being aunt and senior to Krishna by material calculation, she doesn't start with the lotus feet, thinking that Krishna will not feel very nice, feel embarrassed. So that's how she starts with Pankaja Nabha. So she compares every limb of the body of Krishna to lotus, who is very bright, tender, very soft, like that. So he says, Namah Pankaja Nabhaya, that your Nabhi is like a lotus. So it's a Pankaja Nabha, lotus-like depression. That also means that from your Nabhi comes lotus also. That is also Pankaja Nabha. And then what happens to that lotus? Brahma is born. So that is the transcendental Pankaja Nabha. Namaste Pankaja Maline, that you are carrying the garland of lotuses. Yeah. Nama Pankaja Netraya, that your eyes are lotus-like. Pankajangre. And then she ends with lotus flower, lotus feet, like that. in the whole purport, Prabhupada writes about the importance of Archa Vigraha and Archa Puja, Archana, like that. So you see here, this is claimed because women, Shudras, the labor class, and the Dvija Bandhus, or the wretched descendants of the higher three classes, are unfit by intelligence to understand transcendental subject matter concerning the spiritual name, fame, attributes, forms, etc. of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such persons, although they are unfit to enter into spiritual affairs of the Lord, can see him as the Archa Vigraha, who descends to the material world just to distribute favor to the fallen souls. So she is telling that the Lord, although she is unapproachable, although it needs lot of qualification, but still for such unqualified, unfit fellows of this world, Lord mercifully appears as deity, Archa Vigraha. So, because our vision is limited to earth, water, fire, air, ether, Lord appears in that earth, water, fire, ether. And that's how Prabhupada writes ahead that the Pankaja Nabhi Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, its transcendental form, in different elements, namely a form within a mind, a form made of wood, form made of earth, form made of metal, form made of jewels, a form of paint, and a form drawn on sand. So all these forms of the Lord, they are considered authorized to be worshipped. Like that. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport, in the later part, all the great acharyas established such temples of worship in all places just to favor the less intelligent. And one should not pose himself as transcending the stage of temple worship while one is actually in the category of Shudras and the woman or less. And that's how we see that practically every acharya, they have made this one of their important work while being in this world to establish temples. Example, Ramanujacharya established high class deity worship. Shankaracharya established so many mathas. Madhvacharya, Udupi, and then Ashtamathas he established. Goswamis, they established different temples. Prabhupada, 108 temples. Prabhupada disciples, 700 temples. Like that. And their disciples, thousands of temples. Like that. So that is parampara. That this temple becomes a wonderful place. Even an unqualified person can come and take darshan of the Lord, serve the Lord, like that. So temple becomes the place where Lord's mercy is available in accessible form. In accessible form, Lord is everywhere, like that. But then accessible form, Lord can be there in the temple. Anybody can approach the Lord. Person who is meat eater can approach. Person who is unqualified, have never heard about Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, he can access. Person with have never heard Krishna's name can access. Like that. So anybody can access. Like that. Okay. Text 23. यथा ऋषिकेश खलेन देवकी कंसेन रुद्धाति चिरं सुचार्पिता विमोचिताहं च सहात्मजा विभो त्वयैव नाथेन मुहुर्विपद्गणात्. So here Kunti Devi is telling that yes, this Devaki is fortunate, Nanda Maharaj, वगैरह सब fortunate, But then here she is comparing that I am more fortunate than Devaki also. Although Devaki was fortunate to have as her own son, but then I am also fortunate than Devaki. And she says that Devaki, she lost her sons. How many sons? 6 sons. But you protected my 5 sons, although they were supposed to be killed in so many events. And then she says that Tvayaiva Nathena, that you are only Nath in my life, because I don't have my husband. Devaki had at least her husband. Even if 6 sons were killed, because husband is there, she can avoid few more sons also. But in my case, husband was not there. I was anatha. So you became my only nath. So you showed mercy on me more than your own mother. Muhur. Muhur means Muhur Vipadganat. Repeatedly. So, Kansena Ruddha Chiram, that the Devaki was attacked only once by Kamsa. But she said we were attacked so many times, repeatedly. So, that's why, although repeatedly we were attacked, repeatedly you came and saved us. So she is telling that you helped us more than you helped your own mother. So I am more fortunate. And then the amazing thing is, when she is telling that I am more fortunate, she doesn't say that I am better than Devaki. She says I am better, I am lesser than Devaki, and that's how you saved me more. So she is telling that I am fortunate than Devaki. Why? Yeah, because I don't have as love as Devaki has. I don't have as tolerance as Devaki has. I am very fallen. Devaki is very exalted. So she could bear with your little assistance. I couldn't have done it. So that's how you saved me. So she says that because I am more fallen, inferior than Devaki, she could have taken this great risk and problems. I could have not. And that's how you made me fortunate by saving me. So we see here that devotees, they feel fortunate and not superior. The superiority complex is not there. We feel that more fortunate I am. Although I am unqualified, but I am fortunate. So when devotees, they get prestige, when the devotees get glories, they feel fortunate, not proud. There is difference between feeling fortunate and feeling proud. So, more one becomes senior, he should feel fortunate. When somebody is more glorified, he should feel fortunate. When somebody gets success, he should feel fortunate, not proud. So here also we see that Devaki is not proud, telling that, oh, I am greater than Devaki. The Kunti is not feeling proud. Kunti is feeling fortunate. I am actually low, but you have shown some fortune. Prabhupada writes in the purport last line, the more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotees. Okay, text 4 now starts with Krishna's pastimes. Vishan Mahagnehe Purushad Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Kruchataha Mrudhe Mrudhe Anek Maharathastrato Draunyastratascha Hare Bhirakshitaha.
My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from poisoned cake, from great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama.
So we see that Kunti Maharani is telling, you saved us, Harer Abhirakshita Asam. You saved us from Vishan. Vishan is Bhima getting poisoned. Then Mahagne. Mahagne means Dakshagraha. Then Purushadha Darshanad. From the sight of Rakshasas like Hidimba and Bakasur, many like that. Asat Sabhaya is gambling match. Vanavasa Kritsitaha, living in the forest with so many hardships. And then he says, Mrudhe Mrudhe Aneka Maharathas. There were many great warriors in the battle of Kurukshetra, and they had very great weapons. But then you saved us from all that. And Draunya Astrataha, you saved us from Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. So she's counting all the Krishna's pastimes where Krishna acted as a protector. And then she's just counting all this. Just see, she's not counting 5 sons dead. She's not counting Abhimanyu died. She's not counting Karna died. She's not counting her own husband died. So many things happened also along with it. But then she's counting the anugraha of the Lord. So devotee, in his life many things can happen. Bad things happen, good things happen. When the bad thing happens, devotee feels that this is my karma. When the good thing happens, that is also my karma. Like that? That is Lord's mercy. So that's how a devotee feels. So here she is quoting all the pastimes. Yeah. And then the famous text 25. Vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yadasyat apunarbhava darshanam.
I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths.
Yeah. So here we see that material miseries are blessings in disguise. That's what she's telling. She's telling that let these calamities come again and again. Vipadaha santu ta shashvat. Continuously they should come repeatedly, all this vipada. Hey Jagadguru, bhavato darshanam yadasya apunarbhava darshanam. Why? Because if there is a vipada darshan, that gives us to take Krishna darshan and then no bhava darshan. It's like that. So because there is no bhava darshan and that is coming through vipada darshan, no problem with that vipada darshan. So this is one very important aspect of devotional service, that devotee by his devotional service goes beyond the approach of calamities in his life. He goes beyond the effect of this material nature. And that's how the 5 things told in Nectar of Devotion about the bhakti. What? Kleshagni, Shubhatha, Moksha Lakutha Kutta, Sudurlabha, Krishna Karshan. So here we see that just by mere starting process in devotional service, one becomes free from material miseries. But then when somebody becomes mature like Kunti Devi, having great faith in the Lord, now she wants these miseries back She is not asking that let me not have miseries. That is one stage. Another stage is no miseries. Next stage is more miseries. It's like that. So she is telling that let all these miseries be, coming on my way. Because we see that for a devotee, misery is not misery and the happiness is not happiness. Why? Because he understands that everything is misery only. So, in the 6th canto,
Narad Muni's context, the purport of
Yeah.
what he writes.
yeah. गुणप्रवाह एतस्मिन् कशाप को अनुग्रहः कस्वर्गो नरकः को वा किं सुखं दुःखमेव वा. Somebody read.
This material world resembles the waves of a constantly flowing river. Therefore, what is a curse and what is a favor? What are the heavenly planets and what are the hellish planets? What is actually happiness and what is actually distress? Because the waves flow constantly, none of them has an eternal effect.
Yeah, so it's like somebody is drowning in the ocean. He's left in between the ocean. And sometimes he's on the top of the wave. And sometimes he's below the wave. Any difference? Because in 5 minutes he's going to die. So it doesn't make any difference whether he's on top or down. It's like going to die only. So in our life also, whether happiness or distress doesn't make any difference because anyway we are going to die. So in this situation, the misery for a devotee, that is a very, he doesn't get bogged up, doesn't bother so much about the miseries because he sees like this. Guna pravaha etasmin kashapa ko anugraha. So in this 2 shlokas, specifically this shloka is Vipadaha Santuta Shashvat, and the next shloka is Janma Aishwarya Shuta Shribhir Yedamanamadappama. They are related because the first talks about the material danger is positive. Second, the 26th verse talks about the material security is negative. So first talks about material danger, positive. Material security, negative. Generally outside people they feel opposite. They feel material security positive and material danger negative. But for a devotee it's opposite. So that we'll see together in second. Yes.
See, when she is praying through Lord, but she has full access to Krishna and Krishna comes and reciprocate in that way. अभी हमको इतना problem हो जाएगा तो हम we also pray but we don't get access. So we cannot pray that in this way.
Yeah. That is true. If you don't have that adhikar to pray like this, don't pray. Afterwards don't say Krishna, I just prayed like that only. Don't take it so seriously. So if you have adhikar, you can pray. Okay. Attendance. Aditya Ram Prabhu. Advait Karuna Prabhu. Akshobhya Prabhu. Anant Narasimha Prabhu. Anshuman Prabhu.